A small Cambridge inn called the White Horse. The Reformation came.
Restless is raw, unscripted, reformed radio. Pastor Michael, have we gotten to that point in Mark Wahlberg's 40-day challenge where people are kind of now just pretending they're still keeping up with whatever things they loudly declared on social media? Or do you think people are holding in still? Are they holding tight?
It depends, right? It depends. I did just hear a guy on a Bitcoin podcast the other day say that what he gave up for Lent was using all caps and saying good morning on social media, which I thought was pretty good. That's a pretty good thing to give up.
That would be a thing you could give up, but to the moon, friends. And so we are not doing that. We are holding fast to our word of giving up Ortho Bros for Lent by reacting to their content. And so
we are giving them up by spending way more time talking about, thinking about, and interacting with them than we ever have.
Than we ever have before, which, to be fair, is basically what happens when you do a fast, right? You don't eat for a while, and then you think more about food and your next meal more than you have ever. And so it's a great joy here to give up Ortho Bros with you. But today, Pastor Michael, we are gonna watch a clip of some preaching in an Orthodox church today. And I think I think it will be interesting for us. This is just a viral clip that I found. And so I guess we'll just get into it here. I guess we should say we'd like to thank everyone who has interacted with us. Many people telling us to debate Jay Dreyer, which is how I would refer to him in a publicly moderated debate. But we will be doing a wrap-up show thanks to all of your comments and commentary. So if there's anything you would like us to talk about in regards to the Orthodox Church, perhaps how Calvin's doctrine of union with Christ actually understands what theosis is, or anything else that would be helpful to you, we after Resurrection Sunday, maybe the next week or the week after that, we will do a wrap-up show, wrapping up all we've done. So, Pastor Michael, I can't wait for us to react to this clip. I just love what this is titled. It just makes me want to stop right there, because it says, "You simply will not find this preaching this based anywhere but the Orthodox Church."
This is Orthodox Luigi, who we have had comment on our YouTube video, if it's the same guy on YouTube as on Twitter.
What was his reaction?
I don't remember. I think it's the same as everybody else's because it's probably not real. But
so, I mean, we have not watched a second of this preaching to find out how based it is. But I just want to say, like, one thing he's right about is I don't think in a Protestant church you'll find a man dressed like a creamsicle preaching. Like, this is not a... I don't...
You're going to get me in trouble because somebody already commented on our videos that it's disrespectful of me to call the vestments dresses. And I get it. That might be kind of true. I'm not saying I'm a perfect man.
I'm not a no vestments guy, by the way.
Right.
I'm not a vestments hater.
I am not a hater. I think it's goofy, but
I mean, this one's goofy. Like that's
like this is it's funny. Okay. And does that mean it's funny because it's a different culture? That could be, right? There are kinds of hats or kinds of dress,
like the hat this guy's wearing,
that are normal and people are used to in other cultures. And if I was raised there, I would be used to it.
Yep.
But when I see somebody wearing it and saying this is what every American Protestant should become, that's where I pull back and I start to say, wait a minute, that's kind of goofy.
Yeah, and it's again, it's like I don't think there's a place on earth where people are dressed in these orange get-ups, but like, were you to go there, it would be fine for me to be like, okay, I'll dress like this guy. Like, I'll join. Like, if that's what's normal there, that's fine for you to join in. But it's not, and it's not God's will. Like, that's
Are
what's
you
funny
telling
about
me
it.
that the apostles, when they were going from city to city, were not dressed like this, Matt?
That
This
is
is the
that
apostolic church. You
that
don't
is what I'm
dress
saying.
like this.
Yeah, the apostolic church. Which is it? It's apparently this. It's
I
this.
love to just people are gonna hate us for this.
I
The
don't.
comments on this one are gonna be the worst one because we're probably committing the worst possible sin by making fun of this. But even just the structure of it, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's what I mean.
like
It's
it looks like it could be like you're on the wall and your head is just sticking out.
poking
You know
out.
what I mean?
Yeah. The preaching has to be this based if I'm gonna if this is gonna drop the floor. So I'm sure this is gonna call me to repentance, talk about my sins, talk about Christ. But we'll find out.
And so when we see this language in the news that there is a Judeo-Christian God, we should absolutely 100% reject this as a heretical notion that is being pushed on us from forces.
All right, it's about Judeo.
It's gonna be about the Jews, everybody. Why is Eastern Orthodoxy the best? They hate the Jews the most.
Oh man,
That's where this is going.
Can I just say, hey, it's just another guy trying to get a job as a political commentator. Apparently, they're doing that too. So, oh man,
wish to see not Christ glorified, but Christ debased. Those who are of this temple of Satan, as Christ calls them, those of the modern caste of Jews, have rejected Jesus Christ. They have rejected him both in their ancestry and in the modern day. They have rejected the incarnation. And so when we
boy, oh boy, do I have some news for you. There are people in every denomination talking like this right now.
Dude, that is really funny that it's like, well, this is all you get from Eastern Orthodoxy. This is what makes it the most based. This is just everybody's talking about
this.
This
is right now.
Everybody else with an anime or fake picture in their profile is talking about that. And I'm not against that, by the way. You can have that.
Nope. Currently I've got the Studio Ghibli photo. So what I again, this is wow, they joined in the pendulum swinging in the other way, where we're gonna, as our Christian duty, defend Israel forever, and now they're just swinging the other way. Really? They're doing that? Wow.
If you wanted, by the way, to just make me sound based, apparently, you could just go through the last few sermons that I've preached, and I guarantee there's somewhere where I said something like, the Jews, blank, 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 because I'm quoting from John, where John talks about the Jews did this, the Jews said this, the Jews picked up stones to stone Jesus, stuff like that. And you could just clip it that way. And then I could also be apparently based like this guy.
I mean, are you telling me you went to church and were hoping someone would say, you know what's problem with the phrase Judeo-Christian? Like, is that really what your soul needed? I just don't know. I don't get it.
Also,
I don't care. Who cares?
I don't know anybody who. So let's say this. I'm fine with saying Judeo-Christian is not the correct way to talk about the, what is it? What kind of belief system built the West? I'm fine saying, no, it's a Christian worldview. Now, if somebody says, yeah, but it's both, it's Old Testament, New Testament, okay, then I'm like, if that's what you mean by Judeo-Christian, that doesn't bother me. If you mean that there's been some influence from Judaism, that doesn't like bug me.
Right.
If that's how you mean it. Most people, when they say that, they're not taking a stand on their view of how we should view the whole history of the Jews.
No,
it's
they
just
mean
so
like
ridiculous.
they mean
that you
like
would think
oh yeah,
anybody's
like
saying that.
they mean like the like 10 Commandments thing.
Yes,
They
that's
mean
all
like
they mean.
they mean like the most basic ideas.
Right. They mean, hey, we used to, like, I grew up in a proper country where we used to watch Charlton Heston be Moses, and isn't that Jewish? I guess, like, that's okay. I get if you're like, I want all the glory to go to Christ. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I also want that. But if you are thinking, hey, all I need out of life is religious leaders to hate the people that I hate.
Yeah.
Well,
or
that's not, I don't think that's what you need.
or even talk about the pendulum swing we're on. That's not what you need. Guess what? Twitter exists and everyone's talking about it. Like, type in Judeo-Christian and you've got all the commentary about the history and the problem and what it means. Go to, like, don't you instead want someone who will preach to your conscience and preach and actually leave having learned more of the Bible? And you know what? You might hate Bob's Bible Church, whatever they are, but those people do leave learning more of the Bible.
Yep.
And they're
like,
homeschooled.
Don't you just want to know Christ more?
Yeah.
But this betrays exactly what we've said from the beginning. What is the movement of some toward Eastern Orthodoxy? Is it actually, wow, finally I found the one apostolic faith that's so obvious and clear? Or is it cultural pressures that leave you wanting some kind of cultural change?
Right.
That's what it is. That you literally just said, this is the base kind of preaching we want. And it's just cultural commentary.
Yes. Well, that's why we're giving up Orthobros for Lent, because we just want not that. We want not that. You should subscribe to this show. If this clip made you enraged, I don't know what to do. Please don't use slurs in the comments. I guess that's too bad. That one's on me if you do that. But Jesus Christ will judge every word. That's what you come to this show for. That kind of based, hey, don't use words Jesus will judge you for later. I love you all. I love everybody.